Hey everybody, Dr. Moon here, coming to you from New River Community College in Dublin, Virginia. And I wanted to show you around, tell you some stories about how you should never give up on your dreams, no matter how long it takes. And I'll share all this and tell you what we're doing up here. This evening, we are here at the front of New River Community College. That's where you come in. And this is the main Educational Foundation President's Office. And this is the entrance to the main hall here. I don't know what this building's called. Let me show you as we walk down through here. I'll show you a couple of things and tell you about this. This is the NRCC local board. And here on the local board is Richard Harshberger, who is with the City of Bradford. I actually know Richard Harshberger from when I first attended New River in '78. And we were together in The King and I, which was a theatrical production that Radford University did. And guess who he played? He was the king. And you can see how he made an excellent king. And here he is with the other members of the NRCC local board. And they have their pictures there. So when I came here in 1978, my dream was to be a theater major at Radford University, but I didn't have the basic requirements to get into school, primarily the math. And so I decided that I would come back to school right out of high school and complete it, and failed out miserably. I was doing a number of different things at that time. I was working as a dispatcher overnight at the police department, and then I would get off for work at 8 in the morning. I had classes here at 9, and then I would go back to work that evening. And so it just really didn't work. Here on this office, this particular office is dedicated to the memory of Dr. David Poteet by the NRCC faculty. History and Political Science is this office here now. Dr. Poteet was one of the best professors that I ever had. I had history of World War II under Dr. Poteet, and he was just an excellent professor. And the thing that always struck me about Dr. Poteet was, no matter what he was doing, if a student had a question, he would stop in the hall. He would be running from class to class. Dr. Poteet would stop. He would put down his briefcase. He would stop and he would stand with his hands behind his back, and he would listen to whatever the student had to say, no matter how long it took them to explain their problem or their question. He would then stand there and he would answer it very thoroughly. He would say, "Do you have any other questions about it?" The student would say, "No, that's all I needed to know." He would say, "Very good, I'll see you in class." He would slowly pick up his briefcase, and then he would run on to the next class. And so they dedicated that to him. If you come down from that room, actually, this is across from the office that I worked in some years later. I'll tell you about that, as the recruiting office. And so I was a student worker, and I was in the recruiting office there. That was when I had returned to school in my 30s in the early 90s. So my dream again was to finish school, and I was going to try it again. This time I ended up here in this classroom This was a mathematics classroom. You can see how small this is. And I was actually in here with another Chris Saunders. That was difficult to be in a math class with another Chris Saunders who knows the answers, and I didn't know the answers. So I ended up dropping out of that math class. But while I was here, I did finish all the requirements that I could finish, including taking classes in this lecture hall. And so this was the New River Lecture Hall for biology, and I think I took art appreciation in here. And you can see the size of room it is. It isn't huge. That's the beauty of New River Community College. It's a great place to go to school. So let me go here, next building. I'll show you as we go down the hall. This is a tutoring office. And so actually, when I was here in the 90s, I was a note taker. And so I would go to the tutoring offices and turn in my notes. You come out of here. This is Martin Hall. So this is where the library is, where the AV Center is, the bookstore, and the what used to be the cafeteria. The now established area here. We'll go in to the bookstore. Here's the library. And this was the AV lab. Let me show you.
So just keep an eye out and see. But yeah.
It's a great facility now here at So this is where the audiovisual lab, at one time, that room over there was closed off, was an outdoor balcony actually. And so here are the small stacks that still exist of books. People still read books and use books. And you can see some of the exhibits that they have set up here. So let me tell you, I had tried to go in 78 and not made it through. When I was in my 30s, I came with a new determination that I was going to get through school. And by that time, I had a couple of kids, gone through a divorce. It was difficult times, but I was dedicated to the idea that I was going to be a student, do well. I applied for and was elected to a senator position with student government. The first year I was here, second year I was here, I was vice president of student government. I was president of creative writing, and really dedicated to seeing the school do as well as it could do with anything, encouraging other people to go. I worked with the recruiting office. It was really everything that I was wanting to do. And life just continued to not let me through. But let me show you a little bit more of where you can go. Here's the library, and here's the exit on it. And we'll go downstairs to where the bookstore is. So here is the way the stairwell. If any of you have gone to New River, I'm sure this is really familiar to you. It's a really neat mural painted there. This is now the bookstore, and I don't know, I think we can't see into it. Part of the area that used to be the stage got taken. This is the main day room now. And so I'll show you what this looks like. This is where the stage used to be. Here, oh yeah, we can see into the bookstore some. Idea of what this looks like. In here, and over on this other side is where the cafeteria used to be. And so there was a cafeteria where you could get food, and this was the main dining area. Murals and paintings and drawings up throughout. Student Activities Office used to be in that corner when I was Vice President of Student Government. We would set up and do blood drives, things like that. And it looks like they've got a robotics lab set up in here now. Look at this. That's fun. Molded printing. Different types of robots. So here, when I first started, I bet there was one building, maybe in 78. By the time I came in 90, most of these buildings were. So this is the last building here at the bottom. It's Rooker Hall. Building 3 is what it's called. This is where they had a bit of an auditorium. This is where you would have any kind of special services. This is where the registrar's office was. Let's see if it still is. Center for Disability Services is down here. And this is in Rooker Hall. And again here, this was, or still is, a bit of an auditorium. The C. Richardson Auditorium. It's locked. Everything's pretty dark and closed this time of the evening. And come on down in here, and here is the financial aid office, and then a little bit further is the admissions and records office. And you can see how this goes down here. Under these classrooms here. Some kind of classroom for that. So what happened was I had used every class that I could get from New River before I would transfer on to Radford, except for the math. I couldn't understand. I ended up leaving school again in my 30s, still unable to finish the degree. So life went on. I continued to pay on a student loan that I had gotten by then, and I would go on for another 10 years until I was in my 40s, and I began to have panic attacks out of the blue. I never had a panic attack in my life. Had no idea really what was causing it. Ended up going through extensive testing with the Cooper House in Blacksburg, Virginia, and was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. And I have a specific disability, a dropout with number digit sequencing. I had dyslexia where it came to numbers.
I guess you just flip over and then work this way, but you can set your call, and we'll show you that. But you can finish this one, and then you.
Got some great machine shop technologies. So you can learn any kind of automotive work, electrical work. New River is a really great school. So I went through the testing, realized that I had dyslexia, and that's the reason that I couldn't hold on to the numbers and the information in trying to do the math. That led me to return. Let's look in here. All kind of lace. Looks like band saws. All kind of cool stuff. I went to Radford University with the knowledge that I had this dyslexia. I was able to get an accommodation for it. I finished both math classes with a B, and I graduated, and I got my degree from Radford University. And at the same time, because I had fulfilled my math requirements, I had for that was able to get my math degree, or my education degree, from New River. And so I was able to actually graduate at 53 with a performance art degree that I'd started out with Richard Harshberger working on back in 78. So now, here I am, all these years later, now at 65, and my wife is continuing to work on her degree, a degree in nutrition from Radford University. And so she's been working on classes here at New River, and so I have just dropped her off with a for her lab. And
Thank you.
yes, sir. That's what's brought me back up here this evening. At 65, we're still learning. We're still going. We're still trying. This same hall that I walked when I was 19. Here I am. I'm still walking in the same parking lot under these same trees that saw me walk in here so hopeful all those years ago. And here I am now, still as hopeful as ever. When I got my performance art degree from Radford in 2012, I started the Blacksburg Sidewalk Stage Program at Blacksburg, and I have worked in the performing arts in some fashion, promoting the performance arts or trying to get other people involved in the performance arts since I graduated. So I have used my degree almost every day since I got it. So I knew it was worth pursuing. I knew it was worth hanging in there and trying to get through it. And so don't give up. All these years later, continue to learn. Always be in a space of continuous learning. Try to always see yourself in a place of being able to change, being able to learn something new, being able to challenge yourself again and again and again to go over things that seemed impossible at the time. There could be a hidden reason that you can't figure it out or that you can't go, and that at some point your time will turn and you'll understand and learn what to do. So I encourage you to hang in there and do what I would do in that continuously learn, pursue your degree, don't ever give up on your dreams, and at some point be successful. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do some more videos, but I was just up here this evening, and I want you to get an idea of how long it might take you, but how beneficial it'll be for you if you come out on the other side of it successful. So I wish you the best. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.